So we are back and the Globetrotter promo is about to kick off. So we're going to talk about everything that's going to be coming in the next 24 hours and how you guys can go and make some investments. But before we do go and start, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily subscriber trading guide over on Twitch. And if you go and click on the top link in the description, all you got to do is subscribe over on Twitch, which you can do for free of Amazon Prime. If not, it's £5, €5 or $6. In there, you'll get yourself daily updated investing guides, including investments that recently recommended. We recommended Rafinha over on the Sunday for 95k, and he's already picked up over 100, well, over 125, and should go over 130. So really, really nice profit. We also recommend him for 95k on PC, and well, it's 135, along with loads of other cards that we were flipping midweek and last week. But let's go and talk about everything that's going to happen in the last, or well, what's going to happen in the future, I guess. And that is the Globetrotters promo. Now, the Globetrotters promo is basically a reskinned and renamed promo of Toxic. Now, if you're not sure what happened with Toxic last year, basically we had players and the main thing with them is the chemistry they offered. So a normal Arrejo, if I can go and load him up right now, although I think he's called Arrejo or something like that. I've got to go and get rid of this card, sorry. We can go and load up normal player who I cannot pronounce. We can see that he goes and gets himself, we're going to have to ignore one of the league links, but he'd go and get himself one league, one club, one nation, one, yeah, that'd be it. Just ignore it. I've got a manager because I'll be talking about that in a sec. Whereas if we go and use something like here, we can see he gets 2 league, 2 club, 2 nation. So basically they get additional chemistry, and this obviously can help building teams, which also shows why EA's really picked off nation and off league players. So for example, Sam Kerr playing for Australia, you know, very off nation. Luis Suarez playing in the MLS, very off league, arguably quite off nation as well. It's why we get very, very, I guess, obscure players. But it does make for some really interesting both links down the line and makes for some interesting, I guess, SBCs whilst it's currently out. Now, let's go and talk about what is leaked. This is the team that's leaked. I'll be honest with you, gold cards out of packs just haven't done very well for a while now. The only time gold cards really work that well out of packs is if they end up getting used for Evos. Now, I know Salvinho currently fits a current Evo, but I'm not that confident that the 100k Evo is that demanded. And other than that, I don't really back too many of these guys out of packs. Super high rated fodder is not doing too well. Metas, I mean, there is barely any gold metas in the game at this point. It's either the gold fodder or fit an Evo. So yeah, we're not really too much of a fan of buying these players. On top of that, it's a Friday. Friday, you're normally a little bit too late to go and buy these players. Now, there's other stuff that is leaked. In this post, they also talk about a Mahrez SBC being leaked. Now, this is why we come back to Arrejo. Because when I looked at Mahrez's links, we can obviously see he's got the Saudi leagues, and we can, Saudi links, and we can obviously see he's got a few club links. Well, those links aren't too amazing. Well, if we go and look at Arrejo's already on 2 league, 2 club, 2 nation. So actually, all you need to go and get these guys on full chemistry is 1 league. So I was doing a little bit of research, and okay, well, you know, how have maybe some of the link investments or whatever to Mahrez done? And I was looking at managers, and I saw the Algerian managers. I mean, I'll go and buy that one and flip it for 1.3. But the Algerian managers are up to 1.3. But actually buying Algerian managers makes no sense with Mahrez. The reason it makes no sense is because we can already see that they've got that 2-nation chemistry already. So by giving them an Algerian manager, it puts it there, which doesn't give them any additional chemistry. In fact, what does go and give them additional chemistry is a manager link, because he'd only have 2 of the league link here, and that last one is going to go and fulfill the links. So actually, your link investments, or your investments to the likes of Mahrez, isn't actually buying Algerian managers, because Algerian managers aren't going to go and put them on full chem. What the actual investment is in this is it's either going and buying the Saudi league thingy. Now, in recent times, the Saudi League Manager League has actually gone all the way up to 4K. I flipped a lot of these during Black Friday personally when I was trading. But now they're back down to, due to there being like lots of tradable generic packs midweek, we can see that they're down to 9. It's annoying because every time you back out, but they're down to 950 coins. Meaning if you are happy to gamble on the demand for Mahrez, you can go and buy these. Because if Mahrez is very well demanded, they'll go max, 4K. If they're not very well demanded, they probably go back down to about 400 or 500 coins. So you could, I guess, lose half your coins and whatever you invest in them, or you could make 4 or 5 times your coins. So it's definitely a gamble because we can't guarantee that the player card's going to be good. We can't guarantee that the it's going to be a well valued for money SBC, but there is there's a valid gamble in there in buying these cards for 900 coins and gambling to go to 450. Well, let's say that's not really your cup of tea. Well, then there's something else you can go and do, which I'd argue is even lower risk. So what that is that's actually going out and buying just the Saudi League managers. Because if we go and look at the Saudi League managers, these players are even cheaper, meaning there's even less coins to go and lose on them. If we can go and look at them right now, you can literally go and buy gold cards for 200 coins. So let's say we went and bought them for 200 coins. What's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is you lose 100 and... Come on, Dan. Worst case scenario is you lose 117 coins per card. But you should always probably be able to go and sell these cards on, especially with him being a German manager. So your second angle on this is literally just buying the Saudi League managers for 200 coins. Now, these aren't as favourable as the Chem Stars, because the Chem Stars are actually way rarer than the managers. On top of that, obviously, if you're buying the managers, you're limited down to what nations they'll go and offer chemistry to. Whereas, obviously, let's say you want a French one. I doubt there's going to be a French manager in the Saudi League. So that's why the Saudi League manager contract would be more favourable as an investment than the Saudi League. But you can see this lower risk right there. So that's why I'd go with the likes of Mahrez. I wouldn't go and invest in the likes of Al-Awari. It's just overkill. He needs one league link. Now, some would go, well, if he only needs one league link, sure, I can look at Neymar, sure, I can look at Ronaldo, sure, I can look at Informed Kantes and so on. But the problem with this is he gets the full chemistry. But if I go back to a ratio, and let's say let's go and get rid of Simone, let's go and throw in a random... Let's go and throw in Mendy, okay? So if we go and throw in Mendy, we can go and see that a ratio is on full chem. But Mendy isn't on full chem, because even though we get the 3 league links, he still doesn't have the nation links, he still doesn't have the club links, which is why buying someone from the Saudi League or just buying an Algerian player isn't as favourable as buying the Saudi League manager, because the Saudi League manager or the Saudi League manager chem style is going to go and throw them on full chemistry. So that is our Riyad Mahrez. There's also some other really nice leaks, and those are Nani. Now, Nani's coming as an end of era, which actually changes the investments up a lot compared to the likes of Mahrez. Mahrez, obviously, because it's a Globetrotters, and because the Globetrotters have alternative chemistry, we kind of treat we treat this investment as being a lot more major in terms of it's not just buying a manager. There's actually a few angles you can go with this. Now, sadly, a lot of the angles are heavily inflated. So, for example, Ricardo Carvalho, he's already gone from 40k and he's all the way up there to 60k. You know, the card would have to be really well demanded for this to be a decent investment. So I wouldn't want to gamble there. We can also say Goncalo. We can see he's gone from about 17k and he's already up to 22k. Again, you'd have to be quite semi-well demanded for this inflation to be valid. But where I think there is an angle is one. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a great angle, but I think due to the limited links, I still think they can rise if he's well demanded. It's Trincao. Trincao has gone from 12.5 to 13.5. His card is trash. I'm self-aware of this. But what I would say is if people are really lacking on links, then I can see him doing well. Likewise, if he's really lacking on links, I can maybe see some of these Portuguese players who are a bit more mainstream doing well. I think the Diego de Lo Total Rush card I could see doing quite well. What else do we have on here? Maybe Inform Cancelo, although I think he's current team of the week, so I'd probably avoid him. But some of the more mainstream Portuguese players, maybe, I'd say an Inform Rafael Leao, but I think they're the exact same positions. So that's another angle that could do well. But actually, where I'd really want to go with the Nani is I'd want to go back to those, the leagues. Now, in FIFA, there's rare manager leagues consumables and there's non-rare manager league consumables. What do I mean by this? Well, let me just show you this briefly. If I go manager leagues and just go and search it, you can see that there are rares and non-rares. Now, the non-rares, presuming it's a semi-well-demanded league, are actually significantly rarer than the rares. That's because non-rares are normally discarded way more because people just don't think that. A lot of them are trash, like we got the Danish Super League there. Is it Super League? Then we got the Avalaskan. We've got so many of these non-league. We've got the EFL League 2. We got ourselves the Irish League. We've got the Serie B. Because there's so many leagues that are just worthless with the non-rare, you'll actually find a lot of people just straight up discard the non-rare, not expecting them to be worth anything. Well, as a result, when you get a major league, quote-unquote, but they're non-rare, they can actually get quite rare. Now, don't get me wrong, these would have been way, way cheaper before 90 came out, but again, I was trading with these during Black Friday, and these were going for about 500 coins during Black Friday. And I wouldn't even say during Black Friday there was much that was demanding them. That just shows me that these cards are very rare. I mean, just bought that for 200 coins or flip it at 700, nothing crazy. But because they're nice and rare, it means just like the Saudi League, if that Nani is well demanded, these can do really, really well. Now again, you're definitely playing a bit of a risk on this because I think if he's not so demanded, it goes back down to 300-400 coins. It's another, you lose half your coins if he's not well demanded, but the Chemsol can go up to 3-4k if it isn't well demanded. Sorry, if he is well demanded. But it's just the exact same with the managers. We can do the exact same with the managers here as we did with the Saudi League. Now again, you're not going to get as high return on investment because people want to be able to use whatever nation manager they want. But if we go here to Liga NOS managers, I presume it's going to be a case of buying the rares. You can go and buy a rare Liga NOS manager for 450 coins, and they go and discard for, it's not as favourable, but they go and discard for 250, so again, you can still lose 200 coins per card. But I'd be very surprised if they don't go and hold a set minimum. So, set minimum of like 300-400. Because you understand, even if Nani isn't super well demanded, I don't think they go back down to discard because I think there's just enough demand in them. But if you're buying rare gold Liga NOS managers, then there's only so much you can lose. And of course, you can try and win these cards on bid because I doubt they're going to be the most high-end demand cards to go and win on bid. So that is a second investment we can go with. We can go with Nani. Salah leads to go and get a POTM. Salah also, what's it called? Salah also, I believe, is leaked to come out as a 90 rated, so I think this isn't the official leak. It's a bit annoying because he is in the... Is he in the up-and-coming promo? I believe he is he not? Yeah, he's in the up-and-coming promo as a 92, and they're only releasing his POTM, if I'm not wrong, as a 90 rated, which people were really annoyed about because they're like, well, he's already got two 90 rated, just give us a 91 rated. Now, are they only making him a 90 rated because they plan of releasing way more Salahs down the line? Maybe. Is it because they want to try and withhold, they want to try and keep value on these cards, they don't release a better card at cheaper? Maybe, although they could just go and release a 91 rated and make it 900k and there's still semi-demand for it. But yeah, he's leaked to come out as a 90 rated. I don't think there's any investments for it. It is coming out today, I believe it has 4 p.m, I believe, on the Friday. Wouldn't go for link investments because 4 p.m. on the Friday is also when people are selling on their weekly league teams. So there isn't really any money in it. Just do that. So yeah, Van Dijk, Trent. These cards aren't really up because again, people are kind of already starting to sell on their weekly teams already. They had the classic division rival rise. You can see right there, before div rival 62, post div rival 68. But yeah, there's nothing really too crazy on the likes of Salah. Now moving on from, actually no, we don't have to move on from SBCs. We can talk about yesterday's SBCs that released. So those are all the SBCs that are to come. These are the SBCs that are released. We got ourselves a Bushan. I believe he had a very good, I want to say, World Cup a few years ago. Well, it definitely wasn't a Euros, I'll tell you that, with him being from Canada. But yeah, neither SBCs yesterday seemed to be very well demanded, but they did kind of rise some link investments, which is interesting. So again, if you're not aware how these cards work, out of the likes of Inter Milan and the likes of, where's the other one? And the likes of Fiorentina, whoever is, well, whichever team is first in the league, those cards will receive a +2 upgrade, and the ones that aren't first in the league won't receive a +2. I do believe as well it can be a case of if neither teams are at the top of the league, then then they'll go down. But there wasn't much demand, lots of downvotes. Although I don't think the cards really look that bad. Super pacey fullback. I don't think people are playing him at left mid. So let me just have a little look, see what his roles are as a right back. No role pluses. Okay. Playstyle pluses. He's got himself a relentless, which is really nice, and a fullback. No defending playstyles, so again, I can see that not being too favourable. Quick step, relentless. So they're definitely pushing the more of the narrative of he's an attacking fullback. Chip shot, rather than being a defensive one. But yeah, not too expensive. I mean, he's coming in at 35k. Inter Milan is very, very popular when it comes to teams with the likes of Thuram in there. Demarco's got a very popular card. We've got nice Bastoni, Barella, so decent if you're lacking on links. Well, what did he do to some of the Inter Milans? Well, we can see that we saw Info Martinez go from 35 all the way up there to 38. DeMarco already had quite a nice day. He was 180. He's still about 185. Interesting enough, though, he didn't drop Dumfries, obviously being a Inter Milan right back himself. 27k down to 26k. So, maybe obviously there wasn't crazy demand. A card that was a little bit more interesting was Riccardo Sotti. Now, Riccardo Sotti, again, had more upvotes than downvotes, or higher upvote to downvote ratio than the likes of Bushan. But again, doesn't seem to be too insanely demanded. Winger with the likes of Longball. Obviously, they're very nice, desirable playstyles. If we get rid of the links and look at playstyles. Low shooting playstyles for a winger, which isn't too ideal. Interesting enough, though, I guess he's more of a centre mid card. With the centre mid playstyles, roles of
Box to box and holding centre mid, they're quite nice. Technical, he's got himself Relentless. I'd say, that's actually a really nice centre mid card. Especially as he's got himself the roll plus or roll plus of box to box, which is desirable, and of course the meta playstyle of long ball. So very nice. Well, he actually managed to rise up some of his links. We can see that Keane went from 17 and he went all the way up to 24 in the hype. We can see that Bongiorno went from 36 and he got all the way up there to 41 in the hype. And yeah, that's about it. So he rose up some of those Italian Serie A links. So, not SBCs, but Season Pass players. EA yesterday went and gave out, I think it was like 20k XP. They gave out a lot of XP, and as a result of giving out a lot of XP, a lot of people managed to get that final reward of Konate. And as a result of people getting that final reward of Konate, we did go and see some market impact. For example, we saw the likes of Saliba, who was 37k yesterday. Again, a time when he should be rising because it's going into people building their weekly teams. Weekly teams only peak in a few hours, so they shouldn't really be dropping well. Saliba's gone from 37 down to 32. And if I can go and learn up Virgil van Dijk, which if you didn't know, you can just type in VVD into Footbin, and he will actually go and pop up. We can also see Van Dijk yesterday went from 127 and he's down to 103. So again, seeing kind of going against the normal trends because people are unlocking this Konate and he's replacing players. He's not replacing the top tier though. I looked at players like Desailly, I looked at players like, weirdly enough, UEL Romero managed to hold. Looked at Saliba, Koundé, all these guys were just holding prices. So yeah, hasn't really affected the top tier, but he's definitely affected some of the very, very mainstream cheap gold prem centre-backs. And apart from that, the last thing to go and cover is Thuram. As there's an evolution which Thuram can go and fit. I think it'd be about his second or third Evo. Just a little look as well. We were looking at the biggest rises and drops in the last 24 hours. See again some of the Serie A links there. I believe Spurs probably went and got a result yesterday, which is why he'd be up. Palacios up in price. Some Bundesliga players are up in price. We can see our Liga NOS players being up in price because of the Nani. And then what's down the most at the moment? Well, what's down is the players who've been used for recent, I'd want to say, objectives. Obviously, current team of the week are down some of the most. We can see the Prem centre-backs being down some of the most. Recent Evo players being down some of the most. And yeah, that's about that. So regarding investing, as always, we'll maybe look at buying some fodder tonight. We'll have to just go and analyse the fodder. We'll have a video tomorrow, and yeah, again, fodder will still be investable tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we'll be buying our metas. We'll be buying a mixture of the Globetrotters, current team of the week, and the cards that have had the nicest sort of rises and link investments. But that's going to go and wrap that up. It is nice to be back. We will be back streaming. I do plan doing a 0 to a million coins in 20 hours Road to Glory soon, so do make sure to jump on the stream, as we'll probably be doing that very soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.